Hi guys, Victoria again. So, different setting right now. I'm visiting out of state, visiting family. So, I am different location. This is my old desk from when I was younger. I'm in my old room. Okay. So, let's start off. I have a message from a grandfather spirit. Could be named Albert, Alberto, Christopher, Roger, Ronald, Ron. Even if they had like an old name, you know how like Richard can sometimes people call them Dick. Could have been called Dick. Like that could have been the name. They have a message for you, and I'll pull cards right now for what it is, but I just want to go over the energy that came through, like this grandfather spirit. So at least that way you guys know whether or not this message is for you. So this person could have had fire sign in their chart. So Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. I did pull the Emperor and the Three of Wands when I was channeling this energy. And for me, this is someone who could have described themselves as like the head of the household, or could have been someone who just had like a lot of knowledge. I did write down knowledge. Someone who was really, where is it? Yeah, knowledge. They had like an inner knowing, right? There's something here where they put their words into actions, because with the Emperor they had the Three of Wands, and that's about putting action with your intention, right? So this is someone who, if they said they were going to do something, they did it. This person may have also really liked to read, because I also wrote down personal library. So maybe they had a really big book collection, or they just really liked going to the library or to bookstores or something like that. Or they even wrote a book, could be. I also wrote down virtue. So I don't know if this person was very virtuous, if that's kind of like describing their character in some way. I also got they could have been introverted or kept to themselves a lot of the time, or was just very observant, like the people who are quiet and observe things. I do feel like they were very passionate, but I don't think that they vocalized a lot of it. That's not the feeling I'm getting here. This person, this grandfather spirit, or it could be even father, but I'm definitely feeling grandfather. They could have been enlightened, like they could have had like a lot of like inner knowings here, or they could have had like a very strong intuition. They could have also been a lawyer, or worked at a law firm, or like paralegal or something like that. Or they could have just been very good at like debates, like someone, how people, there's certain people who love to have these conversations. They love to hear different sides of the story. They like to kind of put their 2 cents in. A very debate energy, but not in a bad way. Like that's why I wrote down lawyer, because it's like almost feels like they felt like it was their job to, they could have been like, it felt like it was their job to put their 2 cents in, or to put their opinion in, or to be the one to take lead, which makes sense with the Emperor. Someone who wants to take lead, or who was a leading role in a family dynamic. This person, you could be seeing signs from them through ladybugs or hummingbirds. Definitely ladybugs though. So if you've had any ladybugs show up, or any ladybugs even land on you, and you feel like that's connected with your grandfather, that's definitely what it is. Or a father figure, but heavy on the grandfather. I don't know if this is like a grandfather who played the dad role, who stepped up as the father. They're very protective. I got protector, so they could have been someone, like they're the person that you have gone to if you heard like a noise. I saw 444. I saw 444. If you heard like a noise in the middle of the night, you would go to this person. This person would, either they had like a concealed weapon, or they had like a bat, or they had some form of weapon prepared if there was any like break-ins or anything. So maybe this is someone who before had to, like, they knew how to defend themselves, and they are a protective energy here, which they're still watching out for you. I feel like this is still like a protective, like a Papa Bear type thing, because I wrote down protector here. Red could also be a significant color. I don't know if this person had red hair, or they had like their favorite color was red, or they wore a lot of like red tone shirts. This person could also have like Indian ancestry, or maybe you have like some ancestry with India, or this could have been someone who was they visited a lot. Also, I'm hearing I wrote down Barcelona and Brazil. I'm hearing Brazil. So this person could have been bilingual. They could have spoken either Bengali, Hindi, Portuguese, could be Spanish even. But there was 2 languages here. So this person was able to speak different languages. This person could have also had like freckles or face moles, like moles on their face, or certain like distinctive markings on their face. And the last thing I'm getting for this, to see if this is for you or not, if this resonates, is this person was very devoted to their partner. So whether it was their wife, spouse, whatever it may be, whoever it was, they were very devoted, very passionate. However, I did write down, so this could be for some of you, that they slept in separate bedrooms. That didn't have any effect on their, relationship or anything. It was just separate bedrooms here. Or there could have been like separate spaces. You know how some, guys have like what they describe as a man cave or something like that. So there was just like a separate, they valued this space. They valued their space. They value their privacy. So, okay, now that we got that, if this resonates, then this is for you. This is a spirit, grandfather spirit coming for you. And leave me a like, please. We'll do my Santa Muerte deck, because this is the deck that I pulled the Emperor card from before I started the video. So what message do they have for you? I'm going to pull 3 cards, and then we'll get a card for your challenges and a card for your advice. What message does this grandfather spirit have for the collective? What message needs to be said in their highest good, to the harm of none, for the good of all? Can I get 3 cards, please? 3 cards. Perfect. Queen of Wands. Okay, so maybe someone here is, or maybe they just had a very good balance with their feminine and masculine, or there's also a grandmother spirit coming in. That's so crazy, because I got Five of Pentacles. Okay. This is someone's grandmother coming in. They don't want to feel left out. They're like, I'm here too. 4 of Wands, yes. Okay, so this could be just if someone needed confirmation that their grandparents are together. I don't know if you had a grandmother that passed away as well. 4 of Wands, structure, family. So this is like talking to me. This could have been someone who felt like they were left behind. So if you had a grandfather that passed away first and your grandmother followed after, Takasubo cardiomyopathy. So there could be someone here who died of a broken heart, or they just went very quickly after their spouse. I really think this is a grandmother coming through. So I guess maybe the message here that your grandfather wanted you to know is if you did have questions whether or not they're together on the other side, which this definitely to me feels like they are. You see how how she has a candle, she's calling out this person. They could have been a very passionate couple together. Like, I feel like they had a lot of love with each other. Could have also had Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius in their chart. Doesn't have to be, though. I feel like that could be more of the grandfather spirit, whereas this spirit coming through, I don't know if this is your mom or this is your grandmother, but there's definitely a feminine energy that felt like this grandfather spirit left them behind. And it's like they're searching, their soul was searching, calling out for them. And now there's a reunion. There's a reunion. So yeah, definitely if your question was whether or not that they are together, they're together. And you know what's crazy is that I feel like this is such a soft connection here between the two of them. So if you had grandparents who were very devoted with one another, or best friends, or very in love, this is definitely your reading. What other messages? Ooh, 3 more, just 3 more. What other messages here? The moon. Yeah, it was something that you weren't sure of. And this is someone who felt lost after your grandfather passed away. Look how she's even looking in the water. It's like they kind of felt like this was, like this could have been your grandparents could have been people who were just very deeply devoted to each other. A lot of deep feelings here. There could have been some type of family secret that was taken to the grave as well. What's that about? What family secret? Page of Pentacles. Maybe there's some like inheritance or some type of money situation that was kind of kept under lock, or there was, or maybe you did get some type of inheritance, or there's something here where you possibly end up finding something, or there's something that they left you. One more, please, Spirit. One more. Knight of Wands. Yeah, this person definitely, like, I genuinely feel like this message is just clarification that someone who's passed, like these two spirits are together now. And it's like this Knight of Wands, this Emperor, this grandfather spirit, very passionate towards this feminine energy. Like a lot of love. Like they were ready. It's like almost like this person, whether it's your mother, your grandmother, grandfather spirit had a lot of love, a lot of like protector energy. Again, protector energy. Grandmother or mother could have been a earth sign, or flip it if it needs to. So there's earth and fire here, definitely, with some very light water placement. So they could have had like a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, like rising or moon or something, or had like very heavy water in their chart. Not necessarily their top 3, but it could be, in different houses, that there's some type of like Cancer, yeah. Maybe someone here had Cancer. If so, I'm very sorry to hear that. Like maybe that's how they passed. don't know why it's making me think of my grandpa. He didn't die from it. He actually beat, he had the prostate cancer, and he did chemo and everything. And I remember specifically, he was a guitarist. Like, he used to do um, the boleros and like mariachi stuff, but he would play guitar. And I remember they told him um, that after like doing chemo, like he was not going to be able to play guitar ever again. And my grandpa was so like, this is what's giving me that fire energy. He wasn't a fire sign, but he was so like passionate about music. He loved music. He was a musician. um, he used to play in shows, and would be on television in Mexico. Very short lived though. Like, it was a lot of local stuff. So this is someone, and he was like, I'm gonna play the guitar. Like, he beat his cancer. He pushed through chemo, which was very hard on his body. But he got back to it. He got back to playing guitar. He was like, no one's gonna tell me I'm not gonna play my music. So this is someone who has that kind of mentality. So maybe they could have even been very stubborn, against all odds. It's like they had a very strong will, and maybe that's something that you carry as well, that has been passed down to you. I feel like this is something that you could have definitely picked up, or inherited. You have like a very strong spirit, passionate spirit. You don't let things in life kind of get you down, and even if they do, like, even with his cancer, my grandpa was always finding the silver lining in things. Like, he was incredible. um, and I feel like you have that type of energy, and this is like kind of the message that's coming through for you. And I know I said this was a grandfather message, but definitely feeling this feminine energy come in as well. So I definitely feel like this is a pair. Like, they could have been soulmates. I don't know if your grandparents, if you had grandparents that were just so in love, they were definitely soulmates, because I'm seeing like a reconnection, spirits reconnecting, and it's just joyful. It's like flowers blooming in a field, like just picture like a giant field. This is what I'm getting in my head, is like this giant barren field, and it's like as soon as someone steps into it, it's like these flowers bloom, and it's like these people meeting together. I don't know if this person, like your grandpa, would give your grandmother like flowers a lot of the time, or just very romantic gestures, serenading, or if they just complimented them all the time, or they just were still, even in their old age. This could be for some people, even in their old age, could have been like just very like in love with each other, best friends. So I do feel like this message is definitely for someone who really needed to know that their grandparents connected with each other on the other side. And I do feel like someone passed fairly quickly after the other. But okay, what are some challenges that they want to tell you about? What is a challenge that they want to tell you about that's going on in your distant, or not distant, the near future? Solitude. Oh, okay, so you might be feeling a little bit, especially with the Five of Pentacles, you might be feeling a little bit left behind. Like, maybe this is something like you didn't get an inheritance, or there was something like maybe someone took, like after a specific death, like there could have been certain family members or certain legal aspects where you didn't receive something that you were supposed to receive. This could even be like a sentimental item, like something that like passed down. So like heirlooms or something like that. So your challenge right now, I think what they're saying is that you're feeling very alone. You're feeling very disconnected even. Personal truth may set others free. So you might be in a state right now where you could be distancing yourself from other family members, if you do have other family members. If not, this could have been like you only had your grandparents, and now you're on your own. Like, you've lost both of the it's almost like I'm seeing tree trunks, like very strong, sturdy. And now you're feeling like those roots are kind of shedding. You see how she's like kind of in the ground. There's like roots coming into her heart. So I feel like this is something like you're really trying to feel connected with them. Um, so that could be your challenge. That's your challenge right now, is definitely feeling that abandonment, but not in a like blaming type of way. It's just you're grieving. This is what it feels like to me. Like you're grieving. You're feeling like very alone, isolated. You could have even been at a distance when either your grandfather or your grandmother passed away. And so it's like you carry a lot of that guilt and burden. Or maybe you didn't make it on time, or there was a certain situation where you're like, oh, I should have answered the phone, or I should have visited that day. I should have gone. I shouldn't have brushed it off, or I should have known. Like maybe someone here even hid cancer or hid an illness from you. Um, yeah, this is for a specific someone. Someone, exactly, the moon. Someone was blindsided by this second death. It wasn't you weren't prepared for it. You didn't know. This could just be for some of you. Don't take it if it doesn't resonate. But I feel like you have to know that this was the you couldn't have been there. It's almost like they didn't want to be seen in that way, or they're understanding. They know why you couldn't make it. They know why you couldn't show up, or why you couldn't be there. They don't blame you. Please know, like I'm seeing ladybugs. I feel like they're speaking to you through ladybugs. Definitely your grandfather. Um, Grandmother could be more of the hummingbird that I was picking up, or if you see red roses. So what's your advice? Transition. Bat, transition. You must pay attention to the signs around you. The transition may seem frightening at first, but you must let go of old habits and patterns that no longer serve your high calling. They would only hinder your growth. Okay, so this definitely could have been naturally something that has kind of like slowed down a lot of like your daily routines, your life. Like this, obviously it has an effect on you. But pay attention to the signs, because even what you hear, because you're not seeing them, because the bats, like, you know the saying, blind as a bat. It's like you're not seeing. I feel like they're presenting a lot of signs toward you, but maybe in your grief, or maybe because you're in like a stagnant type of energy here, or you're just like in a grieving process right now, right? Like in a very deep type of slump. But there's something here where you're not, they want to show you something, they want to tell you something, but you're not focusing on the signs that they're giving you. So maybe if you've had certain dreams, or if you've had like visitations, or you feel like you've had visitations and you brush it off, no, like that is, those are your signs. They're coming through for you. I feel more like the roses, if you see like very random red roses, like a beautiful red rose in bloom, that is definitely like both of them together. That is a sign, both of them coming together. Or if you have like pairs of birds that show up, not just once, but if it's like a consistent occurrence of like two birds coming in your vicinity or at your home, that those is your grandparents. So they're kind of wanting you to press forward with your life. I feel like there might have been some stagnation here, or being hung up on whatever this legal. I do feel like there's some type of like issues with like legalities, paperwork. Maybe even if you're the one handling like funeral or cremation, like that type of like the details in when you have to deal with the death of a family member, right, or a loved one, and it's like you're kind of having to take control over the proceedings afterwards, right? So I feel like you need to focus more on yourself and pushing forward, because your grandparents are wanting you to continue on, which is very basic and vague. I'm so sorry that but that's literally, it's like, even if it's a slow progress, even if it's like one little step at a time, if you're investing a little bit of time here, a little bit of time there, and it's also this guilt. I don't know if you like missed a call, or you didn't go visit when you were supposed to, or you didn't, like maybe there was even some type of like argument beforehand, because I did get quarrel and disputes, but to me I felt like that was more of like that lawyer energy coming in. This could also be like they're telling you, I don't know if this is someone who specifically didn't like 100% agree with what you were doing, or if there was just like there was something here where there was a certain thing that you guys didn't agree on or had a very difference in opinions about. But they're letting you know now that that has no, it's like they can see a wide, I mean, it's like they see a huge wider perspective. I'm getting just like the image of, like when you see phone lines, and like there's just like all this connection, tapping into different phone lines in different areas. Everything's connected. That's what I'm getting here. So it's like it feels like everything is like connected. They see a broader picture. They see a wider view of your life, your thoughts, like details about you that maybe they didn't know of before. And I feel like they're urging you to push forward in this transition. They're urging you to push forward in whatever it was that you were doing prior. So maybe this could have been like you were working on something for yourself, like building something for yourself or working on something for yourself, right? Even with solitude. And you're just really in a dark place right now because you're either dealing with some type of abandonment issues or, like I said, grief, and it's slowed down your progress, or you've not been able to do anything like focus on yourself because maybe you've been dealing with like family members or like funeral arrangements and just like a whirlwind of stress, chaos on top of the grief. And I feel like their message is to urge you not to give up on yourself. Because I feel like you carry that same passion, that same spirit of your grandfather. Someone here may need to get checked from the doctor. I don't know if someone needs to get like endoscopy or colonoscopy. Or maybe even the heart. I'm going with the heart. So if you're due for a checkup or a physical, I would say get it done. Health is wealth. But they don't want you to linger on their passing or on that guilt of you not being there, or of you not, it could even be like the last words spoken to each other, because I feel like this is just, it hangs on you. It's like this pressure or cloud. It's like a dark dense fog over you, over your head, your headspace right now. Your heart's hurting, like it's like your chest. It's like, I don't even know how to describe it. Definitely grief. It's like the hollow feeling. You know, it's a hollow feeling. You feel tapped out, drained. Maybe you've even cried all you can cry. Like maybe you need to drink some water. Maybe you're dehydrated. I don't know. But they want you to please focus putting yourself back on that path you were at. Don't get trapped in the illusions. Don't get trapped in the... I'm hearing anger, so maybe there's a lot of anger and frustration also being brought to the surface with you. You may have had to have dealt with like a difficult task of like emptying out a storage or like cleaning up their house or like moving certain things. It just feels like a lot of like a workload on you. Or it just feels like a lot going on right now. Maybe because it's, you know, you had to deal with your grandfather or father, but grandfather passing, and then shortly after another passing. So this is definitely like, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. One more advice though, because I do feel like they really, I don't know what you were working on before this happened, or what advice do they have? Unlimited ideas. Okay. Organize for success. Okay, so you got unlimited ideas. Your mind is one with God's infinite mind. Therefore, you have complete access to unlimited ideas, guaranteed to bring blessings. All you need to do is take divinely guided action and allow these ideas to come to fruition. So yeah, take action back on what you were doing prior, or what you were thinking about doing and wasn't able to come to fruition. Do it. You literally can do it. Si se puede. We can do it. Okay. And organize for success. Do not let the word organize intimidate you, as it is simply a way for you to ensure clarity of purpose. Organizing your thoughts, your reports, your living and workspace, and your finances will help you know and plan your next action steps. So maybe you just need like a switch up in environment, or maybe you do need to like get, if you have been in their home, like, I don't know, packing up or like doing a lot of the work after someone passes, right? Like there's a lot of stuff that goes in after, especially if you're the only family member taking on all of this. So you might feel very disorganized right now. You might feel like there's just so much going on, so much in your head. But they want you to recenter yourself, refocus, write down your ideas, jot them down. Even if you want to write your grandparents a letter, you can write it out. You know, the signs are, they're being presented to you. You just have to look. You just have to take notice. Or even ask, like if you want a visitation in a dream. Like I feel like this is something like before you go to bed, like just really envision, ask, pray. It's like they want to tell you, they don't want you to hang on whatever the last, this is very specific for someone, because I feel like someone here had like, there was a missed opportunity to say something, or there was something said that you regret. But this is all about taking action. So, which makes sense coming from this grandfather spirit. As I said, they had that 3 of Wands energy where it was like taking the action, or taking the idea and putting it into action. So you definitely carry that type of energy, that spirit. It was passed down to you. You are someone who is destined for success here. Like you have the means to achieve it. Just keep an eye for those signs. Definitely hummingbirds, ladybugs, red roses specifically, red. I'm getting heavy red, so I don't know if this person, again, like they had red hair, or you have red hair, or they just were just just incredibly passionate, or even something here with the root chakra. They were bold. They were bold. I feel like you were bold as well. Like, this is something where growth, rebirth. It's almost like you're being born again from this situation as a new person. I don't know, like, I feel like the passing of these individuals in your life did a very heavy number on you, because you could have been extremely close with your grandparents. And again, it could be a father, but this is like grandparents who took the role as parents. Or maybe they watched you more than you, like maybe you had family, like parents who were working all the time, because they had to hustle, and you had grandparents who took care of you majority of the time, and so you had like a very tight bond with them. But yeah, it's like they want you to refocus, recenter yourself. They see that you're on this like foggy path. It feels a little bit unsteady. It feels a little bit like you're still processing, but they want you to know that they are together and they're watching over you. And they're sending you signs. They're giving you signs. So don't dismiss them, because they are here. And they do hold like a lot of pride. This is like immense respect. So, oh, they really love you. They really love you. Like, a lot. I don't know if you're like an only child. So I'm getting like emotional. I don't know if you're like an only child or you have siblings, but maybe you were the one that took on the role to care for them, or you genuinely, like, if everyone went off and did their own thing, it's like you still kept in touch. You still wanted to, you still genuinely cared and took care of them. Even like maybe this is something where you fought for them not to go into a home, or I don't know. It's like they have like so much gratitude. Like it's like they're wanting to say thank you. So maybe you did have to take care of someone towards the end, or you just had a feeling. But again, there's also someone here that was hiding an illness. So yeah, I'm gonna end it here, because I'm just getting like so, I felt it so heavily, like how much they truly love you. And it's like you miss them, but they miss you too. Okay. I'm so sorry. Let's end that there. And yeah, one more. I feel like there's just wanting to be with you. Like they're still watching over you. Maybe you feel abandoned, but it's like they need you to know that they are with you. Like you're not alone. And I know that sounds really generic and cliche, but that is literally what's coming up right now. And I feel like you just feel like very alone. Knight of Cups. They love you so much. Your grandpa, this grandfather energy, this grandfather spirit, dad spirit, Hierophant, they love you so much. This is someone who is the head of the household. And again, they are someone who was very passionate, and they had a lot of love for their spouse. They had a lot of love for their family. They did everything they could for their family. They worked really hard for their family. Could have been someone, again, like I said, they have like an enlightened type of energy, or a spiritual type of energy here. Or they were just very intuitive. It's like they always knew when something was going on with you, right? It's like if they would call you and you'd be like, it's like they knew when to call at the perfect time. Yeah. You could also be, they could be introduced, like they could be around when you're introduced to some new type of romantic partner here, or maybe you have a new partner, or you're dating, or you have like a newborn or something with someone, like you just had a baby. And it's like they just have like so much love. And again, like the gratitude, the pride. One more, just one more. Because I feel like they just don't want to go. Oh, this is facing up, so I'm just going to take this one. Six of Pentacles. Time goes by so slowly. Time goes by so slowly. Time goes by so slowly. Something could have happened in June, or the 6th of a day, or at 6 p.m., 6 a.m. Maybe you got a visitation in your dreams, or you're going to get a visitation in your dreams. Or if you've been waking up at like 6 a.m. Or this person was like a morning person, like your grandfather was a morning person. Oh my God, 40 minutes. Okay, we gotta end it. One more. 5 of Cups. Yeah, they really, you're definitely in a space right now, a healing space. It's gonna take time for this grief. You're processing. You're literally processing right now. But again, recenter yourself, refocus yourself. Your mind is a maze right now. There's so much going on in your head. A lot going on. Sometimes you may feel conflicted. You may feel confused. You may feel like maybe this is, you had grandparents where you would turn to for advice, or, you were very close to them. You would talk to them on a regular basis. And it's like now it's no longer there. I'm even hearing, like, I'm even seeing, like, if you have like voicemails or something from them, it's like you listen to it, or you listen to audios or videos of them, and it's like time is going by so slow. It feels like this healing is taking forever, but it's always going. Grief is not like a time. There's no time frame on grief. There's not. So you're always gonna feel that like piece of you missing. But it does get better as time goes on. You learn to live with it, and you learn to appreciate the memories that you had with this person. And I love that quote from WandaVision, where he says, what is grief if not love persevering? That's what this feels like to me. Like, love transcends time, space, death. Love is powerful, and I know that's such a cliche, and we hear it all the time, and they make movies about it, but like, when you sit down and really think about it, it is so powerful. Like, love, the emotion of love is stronger than fear. It's stronger than hate. It's and I feel it so deeply with this spirit coming through. Like, I'm sorry to get emotional again, but this is just, they have such a strong love for you. And I feel like you have that as well. So it's like, focus on that. Focus on that love and that connection that you guys had, instead of that guilt that you have for whatever it was that was missed, or whatever it was that is replaying in your head. I'm just getting, it's like, in VCR where you have to roll the tape back up, rewind. It's like, it's slow, right? It's a time consuming. If you're old enough and you use VHS before cassette tapes, it's like sometimes you would have to manually wind it back up if your VCR was like wonky. But that's what it feels like. It's like it's a process that you have to do, and it's like it takes some work. It takes a little bit of work. And it's like you're rewinding, you're reverting, going back. and it plays out again, and then you're rewinding and going back, and then it plays out again. So it's almost like this ebb and flow of grief coming, or like your emotions can kind of be just like all over the place right now. So definitely they want you to ground yourself. Take some time to ground yourself, feel it, and don't put pressure on yourself to heal at a certain time, in a certain time frame. You don't have to. You're not on anyone's time, on anyone's schedule. You can grieve exactly how you grieve. Everyone grieves differently. So, but just know that they are with you. And take comfort in that, because it's like they don't want you to feel abandoned. You're not abandoned. I don't know if you have like a very specific abandoned wound, but you're not. You're not. I promise you, with this energy here, you are not by yourself. Like, you may be in that solitude physically. You may be living on your own. You may be doing everything on your own, taking care of responsibilities, having to make decisions, having to carry the heavy workload, whatever it may be. But you're not alone spiritually. Like, they're there. They're with you. They're here. And I know that sounds fucking corny and cheesy, but there's truth. There really is truth in cliches and all that stuff. Like, when you really think about it, like, they're with you still. Like, you carry a piece of them. You have their DNA if you are, blood related. Doesn't have to be. Family can come in all different forms. But this is something like you definitely inherited something. This is definitely a blood relative, like your grandfather or dad, like I said, but definitely grandfather. But yeah, that is what I'm getting for you guys. So I'm going to end it there. I really hope that this resonated or was helpful in some way. Please keep an eye for ladybugs, because they're definitely getting signs with those. And again, with the roses, if you see red roses, that is both of your grandparents together. But, all right. Ooh. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, wherever you're at. Stay healthy, stay hydrated, stay safe. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or evening, and that you're treated as you treat others. Bye, guys.